for you guys. Okay, let me share it again. Let me share with you guys. Can you guys see me now? Share, say yes. Do you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. So as I said, Ayurveda says that your breakfast is very light. If you say have a sprouted germs, 2 to 6 almond, raisin, dried fig, a glass of water, fruit as a breakfast alone. Because it's a kapha time, your digestive fire is very low. So what you need to do at this time, that so for me, if I tell you what is my breakfast is, my breakfast after morning session, I will have a little tea, and then primarily the main breakfast is your little yogurt, little oatmeal, and I will put a little bit there, say little dates, little almond, little brown sugar, and makes a nice breakfast meal, but I will eat little late at 9 o'clock. Can somebody, all of you, mute yourself because I'm getting a feedback? Please mute yourself, all of you, so you can just hear me. I know this is a pain. This is the pain with the Zoom, and Zoom has lot of this issue. What is one very interesting, that is a balance, which probably you will not understand now, but when you keep following your body, you will understand it better and better. So in the summertime, when outside temperature is hot, your body core temperature goes down. Your body core temperature is low, and your digestive fire is also low. So you have to eat some lighter food during summertime. Also, remember one thing, this really sounds oxymoron, but when you practice it, you'll feel the difference. Summertime, body core temperature is down because outside temperature is hot. You get your inner temperature cool. So if you want to drink something, you drink little hot. See, all the things we do, totally opposite. Summertime, we're drinking some cold drinks, but we're already cold inside. We don't want any cold. We don't want any cold. We want something warm in the summertime. Same thing during when outside temperature is cold, your inner body temperature is high, and it brings some cold during cold time. When you keep on doing it, after a while, you will find that, and a very interesting way to find it out is that find what is your body type is, doshas, and then you test it in your own body. Very important. Morning time after work, you do daily work, you study, whatever you need to do, your travel, your work. Lunchtime is between, say, 10 to 2. And Vata starts a little early, Pitta in the middle time, Kapha is a little late, but lunch is the main meal. Lunch is the main meal, which is called a tridoshic meal. It means a meal which is applicable for all Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Pitta has a very strong Agni, and the main meal is we call it a complex carbohydrate. If you look at a Western term, but I will show you the Eastern Ayurvedic terms too. Complex carbohydrate. Ayurveda do not suggest you to eat anything white. white rice, white sugar, white salt, anything white in your diet. What happened to the white is when you take away white, refined carbohydrate, suddenly get a sugar spike. When you get a sugar spike, body releases a substance called insulin. Insulin will lower the sugar, but some insulin stays, and that insulin acts in your body to create a cascade of phenomena causing a chronic diseases. So Ayurveda recommends you have a brown rice, you have a whole wheat bread, you have a brown sugar, nothing white. So complex carbohydrate. A lean protein, as much as you can. The plant-based proteins are great. These days, the plant-based proteins are very much available. But even if you're doing a protein, do a very lean protein, little fish, chicken. If you have a red meat, very moderation, red meat in moderation. Like an unsaturated fat. Ayurveda asks you to eat a lot of fat, unsaturated fat, like if from a plant-based fat. A tremendous amount of unsaturated fat is in your, say, your nuts. Nuts are loaded with monounsaturated fat, whether it is almond or it is your cashew or even peanut, you name it. Any nuts you can think about, a walnut. In fact, all the nuts which looks like a shape is good for your body. Walnut looks like a brain. It's good for your brain. Almond looks like your eyes. This almond is good for your eyes. It's interesting. Avocado has a very high amount of your plant fat, very well fat. We talk about 6 tastes. We'll talk about a little bit more when we talk about Ayurveda. 6 tastes, called astringent, bitter, pungent, salty, sour, sweet. Most of the people who have Vata, they prefer astringent, bitter, pungent. So we tell the people who have a Vata type of constituency, which we'll tell you a little bit later how to do it. You try to get a balance, salty, sour, sweet. Kapha, on the other hand, like salty, sour, sweet. To balance, they will be eating your astringent, bitter, pungent. Have a lunch at least 3 to 4 hours after breakfast, and no white carbohydrate in the meal. So this is, I was just telling one day, I just look at a Facebook page, Facebook posting from a very famous yoga researcher. Her name is Shirley Tellis. And she said, when you have been living a good yogic lifestyle long enough, when you don't consider eating French fries, good or bad, neither, just a natural consequence reflecting, she's from India. She said, I was eating something, but I left my French fries. My inner introspection is telling me, a yogic lifestyle when you don't consider eating French fries. It's a natural consequence. Do you guys see any picture in it? You don't see any picture here, isn't it?
No.
No. Okay, something happened. Let me go back to show you. I don't know why Zoom is not showing it. Okay. Am I still sharing or have I unshared already? I've unshared already. Can you see this thing? Do you see something now in a smaller version? A picture? Ideal Ayurvedic meal?
Yes, I do.
You do. Can you figure it out? What is that?
Yes.
You can. This is not even a plate. They serve in a banana leaf Ayurvedic meal. Look at what the ideal meal is, A little bit of a bread, a little bit of a so-called a flat bread, a little bit of rice, and all the veggies, different color, different taste, and each one tastes all different. Very, very interesting. If you look at a big called Ayurvedic, it's called a thali. Thali means you get a big meal. Let me show you what a thali looks like. Maybe I can show it bigger. Let's see if I can show it. Okay, you guys see it now? Do you see the picture?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see the different coloring? All the different colorings. It's not only red, not only green, not only yellow. It's a vibgio, violet, indigo blue, green, yellow, orange, red. I'm not saying that you need to have all this stuff, but keep in your mind that you need all the coloring fruits and vegetables. 7 coloring. Ayurveda says that don't eat fruit with your main meal. Eat fruit as a separate. Primarily, I eat fruit as a snack. So a fruit has an enzyme which interferes with the absorption of your trace elements. And we know these days, we see a lot of medication. They gave a warning sign, don't take this medication with the grapefruit juice. Don't take with the orange juice. If you're taking medication, like if you're taking, say, blood thinners, Coumadin and something else, those fruit is a called an enzyme called a cytochrome P450. It has a liver, it interferes with your digestion. Ayurveda says you take a little walk after a main meal, and then this is a very interesting one. Eating food before the previous meal is digested is the main cause of disease. Somebody always comes and says, I'm always hungry. What should I do? What happens to your brain does not recognize whether it is hunger or a thirst. When you feel like you are hungry and it is not your right time, drink a glass of water. When you drink a glass of water and see whether that sensation was a thirst or a hunger. Most of the time it's a thirst which represents as a hunger. Ayurveda says, 3 white poisons, flour, salt, and sugar. They're all white, no white in their diet. Ayurveda does not recommend drinking water during the meal. It says if you drink the water during the meal, it will dilute your digestive enzymes. So he said, if you need to, somebody says, I need to have some water to swallow. Yeah, take a little bit to swallow, but don't drink a lot of water during your meal. Also, it doesn't recommend drinking any ice cold water before the meal, during the meal. It says that you have your stove top in your stomach. If you take ice cold water, you're going to shut it down. So take a water at room temperature, maybe at a little bit of maybe lukewarm water. But when the turning and churning and everything takes place, because remember, stomach is like your washing machine. So it's turning and churning all the food you have. Then drink a glass of water after an hour of the meal. And Ayurveda is a very strict water metabolism. It's a drink a glass of water in the morning when you get up. Drink a glass of water after main meal. If you get three meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 1 hour, drink a glass of water before going to bed. So you already get a 5 glass of water. Then drink water in between according to your thirst. And then follow your body's hydration. Look at your tongue, look at your lips, be sure they're moist. Look at your urine, be sure urine is completely white, clear. There is no concentrated urine. It's very important. When you feel dry, you put a little Vaseline, or put a chapstick. No, dryness comes from inside, not from outside. Doesn't matter whether it is a winter time, summertime, you need to have proper water intake to keep your tongue, lips, everything moist. Ayurveda doesn't recommend too much of a nap, but it's a nap increases kapha. So our age in our time, when you're young age, is a kapha time, middle age is a pitta time. When you're a senior, retiring time is a vata time. So in the vata time, when you take a little short nap, it balances the vata energy and it creates properly a balance. We have seen in our studies that we have a 2 period of called falling sleep. It's between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. at night, and also at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. There's a natural dip in the sleep cycle, the observation, and you try to take a very short nap, which is very helpful and healthy. As I said, the fruits, I will show it to you. Fruits you use as a snack in the afternoon, after your lunch, between lunch and your dinner. Early evening is a kapha time. You can do a little heavy exercise, evening worship. Like dinner, half the size of a lunch, within 2 hours of sunset, and primarily about 3 or 4 hours before going to bed. So here it is, just to showing it to you. It is one of my plate, what I eat, as a afternoon snack. Even if the fruits, I will have a multi-coloring. I'll have a green, I have a yellow, I have a white, I'll have a red, I have a blueberries, I have a orangish. This is very, very important to have all the 7 coloring fruits and vegetables. Throughout the whole day, you do your work. After a light dinner, you drink a glass of water, or Ayurveda says if you drink a glass of warm milk. Ayurveda doesn't recommend a cold milk. You have there's a lot of reason for it. You drink a warm milk, and with a little honey and a nutmeg. Nutmeg is, we know very much, it quiets down your mind. It's called monoamine oxidase inhibitor. Before going to bed, I just drink a glass of water. And many people ask me, when I drink a glass of water, I wake up middle of the night to go to bathroom. What should I do? I said, just drink half a glass of water. You don't have to get up. But if you keep on drinking half a glass of water in 2 to 3 weeks, that habit forming, which you call a neuroplasticity will set in. You'll be able to increase it more. You can do a 3/4 glass, continue 3-4 more weeks. Essentially, you will see you'll be able to drink a whole glass of water before going to bed. I do it all the time. Nasal oleation before going to bed is very important, because at night when you're sleeping, inside your nose gets dried up. And the opening in the nose is so small. There is one called a breathe easy, the outside strip. Outside strip, it opens up 0.3 millimeter. It increases 30 to 40% of your breathing. So it's a A lot of things you have to look for, but when it is all oleation inside, dry, dry doesn't take place. You breathe through your nostril. When you breathe through your nose, you sleep better. Nose is blocked, you breathe through your mouth. If you wake up in the morning, your mouth is dry, and it is a very sign of called a sleep apnea. And this is the one I said, I don't share with anybody. It's my own personal practice. It looks little gross to other people, but it's a very well researched practice. And if you keep on doing it, just a little bit of oil and dip it in the oil, whatever oil you have, doesn't matter. And just go inside and just oleate both the nostril, you will sleep better. We always say you sleep through your nose, not through your mouth. So overnight fasting, really it ignites your digestive fire, because what it is, you are having your last meal by around 6 or 7 p.m., just drinking a glass of water before going to bed. And then the next day morning, if you want to have a little bit of breakfast, you're pushing around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So automatically you are doing about 12 to 13, 14 hours of fasting. Very, very important. Fasting is very important. There is a big thing going now called intermittent fasting. The Vata fast once a month, Pitta fast every 2 weeks, and Kapha will fast once a week. Food needs to be fresh, pure, organic, local, and seasonal. And there is a British saying, after dinner, British call it opposite. British call, dinner, what is that, lunch here? After dinner, rest a while. After supper, walk a mile. So this is a very nice way of enjoying a good food. Can we make this fun? We say a good yogi eats a good 1 meal a day, which is lunchtime. Bhogi is the Sanskrit word. Bhogi is called enjoying a life, who eats twice a day. And rogi means people who have a disease that keeps on eating throughout the whole day. Eat little, mostly from farm, little from the factory, without any greed or desire. Eat half full of stomach. When you eat some lunch, I'm still feeling very light in my body and mind. And within 2 hours, we'll be able to do our practice. Eat less, eat healthy, eat according to the seasons. This is all we talk about. It is just a summary. Now, let's stop here. I will come to the practices. Let me stop sharing here, and I will come back. Now, I want to see who wants to volunteer about your eating. What did you eat for your lunch? And then we can discuss about your food choice. Who is going to raise the hand first? Linda, okay, go for it.
Okay, for lunch I get one vegan burrito, plain base, and it's with tortilla, with plain white rice, black beans, with parsley, onions, red peppers and yellow peppers, and avocado.
Okay.
And I drink kiwi juice. I make by myself.
Okay. Now, first, if you look at her diet, remember, we all talk about diet, food, and food. But remember one thing, food is entirely different throughout the whole world. Look at what Russians are eating. Look at what Germans are eating. Look at what your South Americans are eating. Look at what Americans are eating. Do you know what the American diet is called? You'll get a kick out of it.
Sad.
Ah, got it. Got it, huh? It's the standard American diet, huh? Standard American diet stands for sad diet. Okay, most important thing about that, we eat too much. If our calorie intake is around 2000, so Melinda just said, if you look at her, can you guess how much calories she ate?
Probably about 1,300.
No.
No, not that much. Okay.
And the whole, because I tried to count calories and the whole preparation and everything, it say 400 calories, 420 if I put avocado.
You got about six to 800 calories what you ate, you know. Think about this. Throughout the whole day, if we eat 10 calories per pound of our body weight, or maybe maximum to 15 based on our work, we hardly get into 1,500 to 2,000 calories. Do you have any idea what is the average calorie intake for the Americans?
What did you say?
No volunteer. Average calorie intake for the Americans.
Americans. Oh, a day is over 2,000.
Over 2,000. How much over 2,000? 2,000 plus? How much?
1,500.
2,500. We are very generous, very nice to Americans.
A McDonald's meal is 1,800 calories. So
Got you now. Now you're talking. Average American intake daily, 3,900 calories. Twice the what recommended diet we have. But you know, psychologically, I've seen this. Psychologically, they know. Not even say, okay, go to McDonald's, give me a double cheeseburger, or give me, you know, any fast food, give me a double cheeseburger and all this stuff. Finally, they'll come and say, give me a Diet Coke. What the Diet Coke is going to do for you? Do you know why they ask for Diet Coke? Because they feel guilty of eating 1,800 calorie burger, you know, so they say, give me a Diet Coke. Anyway, the food needs to be consumed, as I said, of 5 senses, and balance. So each meal is a balanced meal. What she said is a very nice balanced meal. She'll get a proper digestion, and given the proper time, if she is in a relaxation, remember, whole digestive process from our mouth to our anal canal is supplied by parasympathetic nerve. So when you start exercising after food, no, you need to get some rest, quiet down. Food, actually eating is a spiritual process. Eating is a very calming, cooling process. Once you get a parasympathetic activation, food will digest. Food will never get digest when you are driving your car with one hand and eating a hamburger with another hand. So you need to quiet down your body and mind. Okay, next volunteer, see what you ate. Who wants to be a volunteer next to tell me? Okay, to raise your hand here. Galina, you raised your hand?
Yes.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I had rice. It was a vegetable, rice and lentils with broccoli, zucchini and squash and eggplant and the fresh tomatoes on top, and black tea for my drink.
Beautiful. You guys are all good eater, huh? So you're almost, it's all what we talked about now is a good Ayurvedic food. And if you look at it, you covered everything. Very nice. So Okay, next one. See who wants to volunteer about food, what they ate.
Can I just make a comment?
Sure, that's what we're here for. Comments,
I'll tell you
questions.
I'll tell you what I ate in just a moment, but I think the frustrating thing about eating good meals at the right time is our work settings.
Exactly.
I work in a work setting as in the medical field, and people that are nurses and dental hygienists, you know, we all have like a rush society. So my last patient of the morning is at 11:40 and my next patient is at 12:45. So I usually don't eat lunch. I eat a light breakfast. My lunch is whatever, and I walk every day at lunch. So I go out for a 20 or 30-minute walk and I eat nuts or fruit or something. And then I make the mistake of eating a big dinner. So that's my dilemma because of my job.
No, it's not a mistake at all, because we are the part of universe. We keep this thing in back of your mind that this is, the time of the day. But if you're working, if you cannot do it, if you do it other early time, is okay. And you will see, generally, you'll get used to it unless you have some other really underlying medical problem. Now, that is not the issue at all of your work. Think about the person who is working night shift instead of day shift. What happened to the person night shift? Because the body understands your environment, balance between macrocosm and a microcosm. But if you keep the back of your mind that yes, the lunch time is the main meal, and in between even a work, if you have done time, maybe it's okay. Whenever you get time, quiet down your mind, eat it, do your work, eventually will go. But somebody who is under a very severe medical condition, so people who have an underlying medical condition, they need to do something to do with the diet. In Ayurveda, it's called a rogir potto. Rogi means person who has a disease, potto is a diet. The person who is literally healthy, good functioning, they need to have a practice for relaxation response and igniting their digestive fire. When your digestive fire is ignited, you digest. So it's not the eating. These are your sequence of timing is good, but digesting the food. So it's a wonderful comments, and you don't have to deviate if you're not having any issue out of it. But now you say, said, whatever I'm doing, I don't understand. I don't eat anything, but I'm gaining weight. I don't know what I'm doing. My blood sugar is going high up. Sharon, please try to shift your main meal to the lunch. You will see the difference. You will see the difference when you are having an effect of what you are used to. Very important concept. If you don't have anything, people like me, yes, I follow everything. I'm retired. I'm enjoying my life. I don't have any better things to do. But even if I'm working, I still keep in back of my mind, yes, my blood sugar is high up. Yeah, I try to make little time to have a good lunch. Beautiful statement. We love it. So, who else? Nobody ate a good big hamburger? No? What's wrong
Okay,
with you
I'll
guys?
talk.
What's
Okay,
wrong with you guys? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I had some leftover Olive Garden. I had the salad. Yay for the salad. But I ate some of the breadsticks.
Okay.
And I did have some soup, some of the vegetable soup. So that was leftover, and that was probably extremely salty. But normally I try to prepare, but in the summer, I've gotten to the point where I just don't really like to cook now that it's gotten hot. So I'm suffering from that, but I usually normally love to prepare my own meals.
Good, good. But you know, the food is a habit.
Mhm.
So I can tell you one thing. The first food your parents put it in your mouth, probably you still have the taste embedded in your head. So this guy was that he's putting an ad, the owner of the Wendy's or one of the fast food store. Oh, you don't want to have a French fries, you don't have to have a burger. It's fine, nothing wrong in that. But I can guarantee you will come one day and have that in my store. You know, that was his pitch. The pitching is not that. It's not that you're going to go against the grain of your habit, you know. Whatever you have, you try to work within that. Nothing wrong with a Olive Garden breadstick. Nothing wrong with your Olive Garden salad. You are not eating every day and you are balanced. We call it balanced meal. Or too much salty. Yeah, if there's too salty, you know, answer to it, a little smaller portion size. You have to have a salt in your life. You know, you have to have a breadstick in your life. You have to have a little meat. You know, did you hear about these plant-based burgers now? Impossible Burger, Beyond Burger.
Beyond Burger, yes.
Have you heard of this?
Yes, I've tried them too.
Do you know what they're made of?
Is it soy? Or tofu? Is it made out of soy?
Some of them, but it's purely plant-based.
Isn't
But
it
you
made
see,
out of peas?
they won't tell you. It's a secret.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the secret. They're not going to tell you, but they will tell you it's a plant-based. But they're very smart. You know what they've done? They want to capture the people who eats a burger, who eats a meat. So how they're going to do it? The main taste in the meat, I hope I won't ruin your appetite, is the blood, is the hemoglobin. Do you know if you do a bloodletting of an animal, then you prepare the meat, that meat doesn't taste good. I'm ruining you guys' appetite, you know. There's a lot of tribal people. They suffocate that animal. They don't want any loss of blood for the taste of the meat. So this plant-based burger used a plant-based substance, which is hemoglobin, which is the hemoglobin taste and hemoglobin content. So if you take a bite of your Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger, it does taste like meat. What a bright chef, you know, whoever designed it. And I don't know if you know it, it has penetrated the market. California, you know, it has penetrated market, even it's here. If you go to, you know, nicer grocery stores like a Whole Food, you go to Wegman, they have the whole section of Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger. Okay, we'll be doing a little practicing, but let's hear from everybody. You know, we're not too many people. We only hear 2-3 people, and a lot of people. Yeah, go for it. You know, who's next here? Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
I did just have some Impossible Burger
Wow.
for lunch, or I had Beyond Burger, but I put it on. I made vegan nachos, which was not the best for me. I know I'm Vata and I shouldn't have chips because I think they're too airy for me, and they're like, even if it was vegan, there were no cheese or anything, but I feel like it's sitting like a lead weight. I don't digest food very well, and lately everything, it just feels like it's just gonna sit there for a long time. So I don't know, I threw together something pretty quickly, and normally I eat a little bit better, but yeah. So, but I did have the Beyond Meat, and it was good. I did a lot.
Good. But you see what she's trying to say, you know, that she's in a Vata in her primary doshas. So vata is what? Vata is light, vata is dry. Okay. So they will be eating something heavy, something oily. So they'll be eating, say, heavy, you can say squash is heavy, mushroom is heavy, oily. Or let me give an example, very nice example. You have a popcorn, you want to eat a popcorn, okay? So you're a vata that's very light, that's going to aggravate your vata. So how to balance? You really want to eat a popcorn, so what do? You put a little butter in it, put a little oil in it. And then if you really want to make it more tridoshic, then what you can do, you can put a little bit of your black pepper in it, the taste. Or if you look at a grandma's recipe, grandma is doing, say, a baked potato. Baked potato, dry potato is a butter. So grandma is doing, slicing the baked potato, she's putting some butter in it. She's balancing it. See how the balancing diet is called a tridoshic diet. After that, she puts some black pepper in it. Then give it to you to eat. Ideal, we call it tridoshic food, it is ideal for all the doshas. If you go to any kind of traditional eating, if you go to Mexican food, or if you go to Indian food, and if you go to, grandma's cooking, they always make it a balancing meal because it came from their experience. Gourmet cooking takes time. Gourmet cooking is basically a balanced meal. Thank you. Who else wants to share? Who did not share or who wants to share? Yes. Okay. Melinda, you have a hand is raised. You have a comment?
Yes, I'm sorry. I have a big question about we
Sure.
talking about food, and I'm a dental assistant. I work with a periodontist. Something happened to me. I talk with different people, and it happened to them. Is when we got surgery. Is when my appetizer opened a lot. That day, I bring more lunch than normally because I don't know, it's something, I don't know what happened to my brain. But that day when assisting a surgery, that day I eat and I'm more hungry a whole day long.
Actually, what happens, okay, let me tell you what will happen. If you eat a carbohydrate, especially refined carbohydrate, as I said, suddenly the sugar gets absorbed, we call it sugar spike. When the sugar spike is there, the body releases insulin. Insulin, your digestive sugar. When insulin digests to sugar, then some insulin stays. That insulin acts in your brain. Now insulin is to digest. The body thinks, I need more food. So you become hungry. So if you eat even a big meal, after a big meal, you also get hungry. So that's what it said, Ayurveda, take your time, you balance your meal, slowly do it, and give you all the instructions how to do it. So again, what you have done with the example you gave is an example, and that's the way you look inside yourself, is introspection and eating. Who is the next in line? What did Joya eat? She didn't eat anything. She was fasting, huh?
No, I did speak. I'm on two different. I have to
see.
because my internet messes up at home, so I have to be on my cell phone too. So
That's okay. As
so
long as
that
you
was me
turn
with
off.
Olive Garden. Okay.
Oh, you did Olive Garden. Oh, you were on the other side. Oh, okay. I see it
Yes,
now.
I'm up here twice.
I see it now.
Okay.
Okay. Khalida is here. What did you eat?
I made crab meat quesadillas. So I I had crab meat quesadillas and I put spinach and sauteed mushrooms and cheese in them. And then I had watermelon and I had a nap for lunch. So that's what I ate.
See, she included a nap for a lunch. Very good, you know. Very nice. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So really the food, you know, as I said again and again and again, as long as you remember, we are not what we eat. We are what we digest. If after a meal you feel heavy, your body and mind, that food was not digested. If your excreta smells, even in the next day, the stool smells, urine smells, your perspiration smells, that food was not part of your body.
Can I ask a quick question about asparagus?
Yes, yes, asparagus. Go ahead. I'm very interested in
Why
that.
is the smell so bad after I eat the asparagus, the urine?
Mhm. So that telling you that that asparagus was not properly digested for your body. So what you need to do, look at your body type and look at your asparagus, what it is, and make it digestible for you. So what will be digestible? You may need, if you're a, say, vata, you may need a little bit more, a maybe salty, maybe sour, maybe sweet. And experiment will do it if you can experiment. Or if you feel that day, even the day you feel different, you're a kapha, you might put a little bit of more of pungent. Maybe you put a little bit of, say, a green chili in it, make it a little pungent. So see how beautiful it is. You guys are doing introspection. I eat asparagus, next day my urine smells. As clearly you can tell you that asparagus was not digested, was not part of your body. Even if your stool smells, was not part of it. Even when you perspire, you know, your perspiration also should not smell if your food is properly digested. People think, you know, I have a bacteria in the skin, I have a bacteria in my armpit, in my groin, that's what I smell. It is not. You smell because the food was not being properly digested. Even sometimes a craving, when you have a craving for the food, that means you are not having that food as a withdrawal for the food, and you slowly adjust that. So very nice observation. And then again, what you have to learn more and more is that we can choose trial and error. What is good for him or her may not be good for me. It is my body. I may like to have a little bit more little salt in my food, but when you look at your body's excreta, all these things you learn what to do. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Who else is left? Anybody? Okay, go ahead. Kendall, go ahead.
So I made a spinach wrap and I put turkey, cheese, spinach, and tomatoes in it. And then I had a sweet potato. So it's
Okay.
kind of funny that you mentioned the French fries, because that's like my guilty pleasure. I'll cut up, like, I usually do sweet potatoes more than regular potatoes, but I'll cut it up and put it in the air fryer with like olive oil and like salt and pepper. So it feels like I'm eating French fries, but it's a little bit better. So that's what I had.
I'll tell you one, the sweet, you know, if you try sweet potato fries, I don't know how many of you tried, is excellent. Who has tried sweet potato fry? You know, it's, you know, most of the very, I don't know what is a good or bad. Most of the nice good restaurant, they do offer a sweet potato fries instead of a French fry.
Mm-hmm.
But little French fry is good for you, you know. Anything in moderation is good for you.
Right. I did have one question too. How do you feel? Because I had somebody in the past
Mhm.
recommend using like the papaya
Mhm.
chewable enzymes. I don't know how you feel about like taking enzymes after you eat a meal, like if you eat more than you should, or if you eat something really bad.
I have nothing against it. You said, as long as you're not doing it daily, not making a habit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, you always remember, whatever you do occasionally has no impact in your body and mind. What you do daily has the impact in your body and mind. Understand what I'm trying to say? Whenever you do occasionally, it's okay. You feel like, you ate more, you took a little enzyme and you feel the enzyme is helping you. And I can tell you, most of the time, it is helping your mind. It's called a placebo. Do you understand the word placebo?
Right. Yeah.
The word placebo says that I shall please. Placebo. No, there's nothing wrong in that, really. In fact, if you feel better, go ahead and do it. I do it, you do it, everybody does it. We eat, we go to a nice restaurant, we eat a very big meal, and next day we suffer, This is quite common, but you don't want to do it daily. Okay, let's go and do let's finish with the practice. We still have a little bit of a food you're talking about. Let me show you what the we'll do. In fact, we'll do a little practice for you that how this whole yoga therapy, Ayurveda, helps us. We are not okay. Let me share with you, and again, a little bit of a slide so you can share it with you. Okay, let me share with you. This is a simplest way, if you keep back of your mind, totally opposite of what is our Western thought process. Western thought process is a heavy big breakfast like a king, lighter lunch, have a good dinner before you go to bed. That's what have the highest number of heart disease, highest number of diabetes. Do all of you know? I don't know if you know about this. We spend over $10,000 per person per year for health care. Europeans, overall Europeans will be $2,000, $3,000 to spend. These days, they live a lot longer than us. Our average longevity is 78 now, and their longevity is 82, 84. So we looked at it, what they eat. Have you seen the Germans, what they eat? Sauerkraut and sausage. It's the main meal. Look at the English breakfast. But what they come up with when you go to Europe, a Coca-Cola can is this little 150 cc. Yogurt is this much of yogurt. They eat little, they eat less, eat very light, less, and they digest whatever they eat. It is nice to be vegetarian, nice to be plant-based food. Nothing wrong in that when you have a disease. But day-to-day time, you need to digest. Again, lunch is the main meal, afternoon fruit as a snack, light dinner, a little bit of a meditation before sleep, and sleep by 10 p.m. if you look at what it does, it creates called a primary prevention. What is a primary prevention is that I have a genetically predisposed disease. My father has diabetes, my mother has high blood pressure, my mother had a breast cancer, I'm going to have breast cancer. Genetically predisposed. I have the oncogene, we call it a genetic for the cancer for every disease you think about. But the gene has to express. When the gene has to express, it'll cause a disease. It's called a lifestyle. But if you continue a relaxation response, a response of a parasympathetic activation, which you call yoga as a therapy, you get a genetic suppression. Prevent the onset of the genetic disease. So what I'm going to tell you, your gene is not going to kill you. With your work of relaxation response, staying in the state of a calm, quiet mind, was going to digest everything with the proper food, and it will be a primary prevention. A secondary prevention is you are genetically predisposed, you did everything in your lifestyle, you got the disease. Now you have the clinical disease, you have a treatment. You have a heart attack, you have an angioplasty, you have a bypass, or you have a breast cancer. Say breast cancer. You get a surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, you got all the therapy. What happens? We are completely cured. After 10 years, 15 years, the breast cancer comes back. Because the genetic changes what you have, it's called oncogene. That got expressed again. So if you continue your relaxation response or yoga therapy, you got a genetic suppression. You prevent the progression or reverse the disease. I had open heart surgery 20 years back. I had at the time open heart surgery. But now with my practice, all my study shows I don't have the disease anymore. I have reversed the disease and I prevent the progression. I enjoy a good quality life. I'm like an energizer buddy. Wake up between 5 to 6 in the morning. I've been talking to you whole day. Nothing happens to me. Very, very important. Secondary precaution. Tertiary prevention means it will prevent a complication. What a complication? If a diabetes continues, you get a changes in your eyesight, called diabetic retinopathy. Changes in your kidneys, called diabetic nephropathy. With a proper daily practice of proper relaxation response, proper digestion of the food, you are what you digest, you will prevent the complications. It is called a tertiary prevention. Rehabilitation is a wonderful experience of what you are doing. If you get a lifestyle disease, then you get a continuing therapy, you get the better management of the disease. If you have a diabetes, if you have hypertension, blood pressure will be pretty well managed, blood sugar will be pretty well managed. You have a less pharmaceutical support. All the medications you are taking for your diabetes, you'll see, go to see your doctor, doctor says, I really don't know what you are doing. You're doing it great. Let me cut down your medication slowly because the blood sugar looks good. Better quality of life. You enjoy a good quality life. And then what happens when you go to see a doctor, your doctor say, I really don't know, because most of the physicians today, they don't understand this, the basic relaxation response. And they say, your number looks good, everything looks good, keep doing what you are doing. So how it works, because a yoga therapy or a Ayurvedic yoga therapy is a mind-body hygiene. Always say what will happen if you don't brush your teeth for a month. It's very important to maintain your hygiene. It's a personalized lifestyle changes. Exactly what you guys just shared with me. What works for you may not work for me. What works for the third person. So always have to look inside yourself. Introspection, very, very important. Lifestyle changes can be better than any medication. How many pills you can take? People in my age, they're taking average 10 pills a day. I take a pill for hypertension. I take a pill for my diabetes. I take my heart disease. It's a whole pharma drug companies. I call them pharmacomafias. $350 billion industry. They have put it in your mind that if you don't take the medication, you're going to die. I have friends who said, 9:30, I have to take all these medications. So 9:31, if I don't take it, I'm dead. It is synergistic. If you're taking a medication, taking another treatment, continue it. You'll see if it works, slowly and slowly, that medication requirement will go cut down. It's a transformative. What does it transform? It's a beautiful picture. Somebody sent it to me and I loved it. This is called a Michelangelo's David. It says after 2 years visit to United States, sponsors were your McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, all the fast food stores. This is happens. You get a truncal obesity. This truncal obesity fat is inside your abdomen. That fat acts as an inflammatory molecule. It's a wonderful situation that if you do it, you will convert this into this. This is very, very important when you get into this controlling your own health and wellness. If you look at, okay, I know I got it from a book and from a friend. If you look at a baby now, everything baby does is a yoga pose. In fact, a friend of mine is a radiologist. He says, yes, I'm looking at now. I'm looking when we do the ultrasound. The baby is inside the mother's womb. They do all the yoga postures inside the mother's womb when they're growing up. And he's a very funny guy. He says, and they become so good in yoga practice. When they come out from the mother, they come with the headstand. The head comes out first. Look at that. That's where the baby stands. Standing up in a mountain pose. Stand in triple. Why? They feel good. The mind is completely clear. They understand what is going on in the body and mind. They'll sit down in a Vajrasana, thunderbolt. They'll sit down in a Sukhasana, easy pose. They'll get up into a cobra pose, Bhujangasana. And these are all from the candid camera. That's what, and now I see it on my grandson. He will sit down. He will sit down in a squatting pose when all the time, and especially when I have to do number 2. When he gets to number 2, he's hardly 2 years old. He'll sit down. And when he does it, he gets a smile in his face. They'll get into a locust pose, Shalabhasa, downward facing dog. The grandson says, okay, down dog, puts his head down. I said, how about a headstand? Yes, I put my head down. Cat pose. It's a natural for them. Revolving abdominal pose. It's a wonderful, wonderful way. We try to do it. Spread your leg or a wide angle seated forward bend, Upavisa Konasana. They do it very nicely. Look at that. Do Paschimottanasana, put the head down. It is natural for them. When you get very anxious, we get a neuropsychiatric disorders, we get into a child's pose. And the child gets into a child pose so easily. You watch the child, they always do it like that. They sleep like this. It is called Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining bound angle pose. I tell people who cannot sleep, they're the same. And I sleep it all the time like this. I don't miss anybody. I'm lying down, both the feet are together. I sleep like this. Both pose. Now, what I like to do, I like you guys to, I want to go and do a little bit of a practice, and this is very important. What are the steps of the practices? Okay, best way to do it will be, are you guys ready to do a little practice on your own? I'm sure you guys will be all ready to practice. Okay. Now, I will share this picture with you, and you are going to do this, the sequence. Okay, let me see. How would be the best way? I have done it before and it works great. Now you see the pictures. Do you have a place, you have a mat, you want to do it, or in the chair? Generally, I show it to you, but I like you to do it on your own if you can do it. If you cannot, listen to your body's signal. Your body signal says it's hurting or your breath is interrupted, don't do it. So the first one, let me see what will happen. Yeah, I can see few of you. The first one is called an easy pose, and we done this morning. If you can sit down when you're comfortable, then you can slowly, if you can put your 1 foot high up, this is called your perfect pose. And you get into in stages. If you get into the stages, you will get into, you can put 1 foot high up, it's called half lotus, and then the full lotus. You don't have to do it, but these are the sequences you'll go through. So wonderful practice. In fact, tomorrow, I gave you one. It's called the, I think it is a poses and the sequence. Vata balancing pose, Pitta balancing pose, Kapha balancing pose, then Vata balancing sequence, Pitta balancing sequence. And one of you will be showing it, and rest of you will be doing it. And I'll have one of you, and you will take your turn. You'll see it's very important, because once you become a teacher, this will be very, very, very much important, effective for you. And if you say this is called a relaxation response, when you can do a relaxation response, this becomes your, as I said, it becomes like your preventive medicine. Another way to do it is simply that a very relaxing response, if you can do it, because you're sitting down for a while, and prepare your body and mind, you will be able to sit down in a squatting pose. Squatting pose is a wonderful relaxation pose. If you cannot do it today, hold on to a chair, hold on to something, and slowly get into squatting pose. And a beautiful stretch break. People gets into stretch break, gets their whole body high up and stretch. A beautiful stretch break is from a squatting pose, get up without a support. You're in a stretch back, you can get high up without a support. Then you get down. So this is a wonderful practice, taking the breaths and proceed one step at a time. This always you practice pumping and cupping, very relaxation. You do it after every, put your hands, rub it together when it's very nice and warm when you rub it. If you're wearing glasses, remove your glasses. Use the hand like a cup, put it over your eyes. Let the eyes take all the heat from your hand. Then massage your forehead, massage your eyes, massage your face, massage your ear, behind the ear, in front of the ear, inside the ear canal. Bring the hand down, massage your in front of the neck. This is called your carotid sinus. It's very much relaxation. Go to the back and massage into the back of your neck. Massaging is a wonderful relaxation response. Okay, you guys are all being sitting in a chair, sitting in a ground, wherever. And you can all do this even sitting in a chair. Nothing happens. So you have to learn how to relax your upper part of the body. I gave it to you, but let's go ahead and get a practice. Relaxation of the small joints of the foot, small joint hand. So if you want to relax your hand, see, babies' hands are all relaxed. So this is called your baby fist. So what you do, take your hand, put a thumb inside and close. Initially, you may not put the thumb wherever it goes and you close it. You can do it with your hands spread in the front, and you can do it with breathing. Remember, you breathe out first. Take a deep breath in, and breathing out, do your yogic fist. Breathe in, breathe out. Within a short time, when your hands is relaxed, what will happen? See, normally it will be very hard to put this finger. When your hand is relaxed, the whole fingers will go in, your hands will all turn around. See, any way you can do your movements. So wonderful, it's called emancipation. Your shackle will be gone. Wrist gets relaxed in extension. If you put an extension, this is a relaxation. Breathe in, then you can breathe out. So these are very simple practices, but it is so powerful, so relaxing practices. Breathe in, breathe out. Then you see if your wrist is relaxed enough, see if you can do it. You don't have to go too far, you can put your hands in the ground, and wherever it is, you stay there. Close your eyes, do your breathing out longer than breathing in. Close your eyes, breathe out, and you will see slowly and slowly your hand will go down. Please don't do it if you have a pain. When you're coming down, if you have a pain, what you're going to do? Pain is to pay attention. Go back, there is no pain, but stay in the posture. Stay in the posture, hands will come down slowly and slowly. Remember one thing, I always do practice. Like I have a session coming up after I finish all of you guys this evening. I'm going to do it's called American Academy of Yoga and Meditation. I'm doing a yoga therapy for cardiovascular disease. For all the physicians and your healthcare providers. First of all, they said, where are your slides? I said, my slides, there'll be no slides. I'm going to put all of you to work. A doctor comes to me and says, I want to incorporate my yoga therapy in my practice. How do I do it? I said, very simple. You know how to do it? Well, you start doing yourself first. You start doing yourself, feel it in. This, by the time you can put your wrist in the ground, your wrist pain will be gone, carpal tunnel will be gone, you name anything in your body, because the pain comes from tightness. Very, very important. Prayer pose to the back. Total relaxation. You know, expansion of the chest. When you're going to expand your chest, gently put your hands in the back. Slowly turn it around, put your hands. And then stay there, close your eyes, and keep breathing. Just do your breathing. I tell you, if you keep your hands there, if you do a prayer pose in the back, close your eyes, breathe out longer than breathing in. Always breathe out longer than breathing in. You know, in any yoga teacher's training class, any yoga class, if I don't do a long practice, it is not complete. You can talk about yoga whole day and night, but when you practice, it comes back. This is excellent for relaxation of your hand, your wrist, your shoulder, your back, you name it, you will do it. There cannot be any better practice than this. So I had one day, I had a friend of mine who's a software engineer. Actually, he's a lot younger than me. You know, he said, he's talking to me. Then he sent me a text message. You guys all use it all the time, you know, the 3-letter words, LOL, this thing. He said, AFK 20 minutes. I absolutely had no idea what AFK means. And looking the word F in the middle, I got more suspicious. But he said, you don't know, this is a very famous computer guy's talk. I said, what does AFK means? Called away from keyboard. I said, great. Why don't you do a prayer pose in the back? Put down a AFK 20 minutes. It will be a wonderful experience for you. Practice this, incorporate this in your lifestyle. There cannot be any better practice than this. A shoulder relaxation, you just move your shoulder with your breathing. You breathe in, and shoulder is a ball and socket joint. You move your shoulder front and back. So wonderful practice. But with your breathing. What I do most of the time, I have my eyes closed. Eyes closed. I do it with my eyes closed. Front and back. This is called elbow circling. So wonderful for your shoulder joint. What you will do, you put your hand in the shoulder, bring all the elbows together. Remember, pain. Also, one thing very important, do not take a pain medication and do a yogasana practice. Because if you take a pain medication, you are going to lose that reflex. Breathe out first, take a deep breath in, and slowly rotate your shoulder. So breathe in the middle, and slowly rotate it out. Keep doing it a few times. You don't have to follow me, just do it yourself and see how you feel. Keep doing it a few times and see. Then what you can do, bring it, do the opposite way. Do with your breathing, do the eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed, breathe in and breathe out. You know, this looks like a very simple thing, but it's a wonderful therapeutic practice. The whole relaxation response like a shoulder. Shoulder, if you do it like a raise your hand way high up suddenly, or if you do a called external rotation, put your hand outside, it causes sometimes a rotator cuff tear. It causes a lot of shoulder issues. Pulling your shoulder, if you can hold your wrist on the top, breathe out, breathe in, and pull it down behind your head down in the shoulder. And with the breathing, go high up, you breathe out first, take a deep breath in, and slowly bring it down. Okay, go ahead, do it. Do it a couple of more times. Do it with the eyes closed and do it with breathing. Breathing on the top and breathing out. That's where you extend your exhalation and the breathing out again on both sides. Moving your shoulder. Basically, arm pull down. Neck relaxation, very important. We did it this morning. You'll be doing it with the breathing. Also, you'll be doing with your, we call it a bumblebee breathing. The best way to do it, there's a 4 postures, back and the front. Breathe out first. In a hands, many times you can do your called baby fist, yogic fist. That's where you get a relaxation. When a hand is relaxed, your whole body gets relaxed. You know, your brain, half of your brain controls your hand. 1/4 of your brain controls your head and neck. And 1/4 of your brain controls your rest of your body. Hand. Breathe. Breathe out first. Breathe in, slowly drop your neck to the back. And breathe out, slowly drop your neck in the front. What you're looking for, pain. If you get a pain, you back off. If you feel any effort in breathing, you back off. If not, you stay here, breathing out. Then again, put your neck to the back. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can do it a bumblebee breathing. Breathe in, drop your neck to the back. And breathe out. Slowly, the bumblebee breathing. Do side to side. Breathe out first, take a deep breath in. Do the bumblebee breathing. Deep breath in. Breathe out. Look all the way to the back without turning your shoulder. Breathe out first. Take a deep breath in. Other side. And rotate your neck, put your head down, breathe out first, take a deep breath in with a bumblebee sound, left to the back to the right. To the other way, right to the back to the left. These are the practices to relax your upper body, hand, wrist, elbow, shoulder, neck, upper part of the body. Okay, it's around 4 o'clock now. Let's take a little bit of bio break or a comfort break, 5-10 minutes. Come back again. Then we'll do the relaxation of the lower part of the body, relaxation of the rest of the body, and we'll do a nice practices before we finish. We'll finish by 5 o'clock. Okay, let me get out of this. I can keep it on just to, let me see, what will be the best way to do it. I can, Okay. Okay. All of you guys are back here now. So for the feet, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Can see me. This is called Dandasana. So your feet goes in the front first. Put it here, the best for me. Hands on both sides and spine straight. Staff pose. The toes gets relaxed when you learn how to separate the toes. Separate your toes, like you breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And you practice it daily. In fact, more and more toes are relaxed, your feet is more grounded, and you get a balance, you improve your balance. Separate and just bend it down. Relaxation of your ankle. Remember, we all talk about hip joints, knee joints, but the ankle joint is supporting all of our body. So breathe in, breathe out. These are a wonderful therapeutic asanas. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, slowly rotate your ankle. Foot rotation with your breathing. And also try to do the eyes closed. To the opposite, breathe in to the opposite side. You can do it on both sides, like we call it a windshield wiper. More and more, you can relax in a whole body, lower part of the body gets relaxed. You feel the gentleness and relaxation. Relax your knees and hips. You can put one way high up. And I do it all the time. I use my hand, take my fingers, I put it in between my toes. See, I'm relaxed, my finger will go in and out. It doesn't even stuck anywhere. Take one knee high up, bring it close to you. Breathe out first, take a deep breath in, slowly let the knee, it will go all the way down on its own. Don't push it down, because if you push it down, this is going to happen. It's going to come back high up. It'll go down on its own. If it doesn't go down on its own, it's here, it's fine. Close your eyes, do your breathing, and more you stay here, slowly and slowly this thing is going to happen. In yogic tradition, knee is side of your fear. Hip is side of your emotion. When you control your fear and emotion, you control your stress. Emotion-related disorder today. Number one is the hypertension, high blood pressure. Balance it. Do it in the opposite side. Bring it high up here. Cuddling, taking care of your baby. Hand is here, the baby, you're bringing the baby close to you. Breathe out first, take a deep breath in. Let the baby go all the way down to the ground. It's a wonderful practice. If you learn how to relax your knees and hips, people get say, all the knee joint replacement, hip joint replacement. I say, when you can able to do this, these are your permanent total joint replacement. You don't need a joint replacement when able to do this. It's a beautiful practice. You can sit down in a butterfly pose. Remember, hip joint is the site of your emotion. Relax your hip joint, and neuropsychiatric disorders are also emotion-related disorders. Keep your spine straight, close your eyes, and slowly and gently, this is called your butterfly, Titliasana, or called a Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Stay here, slowly and slowly, both the knees will come down and hit the ground. Let me do one thing. I was trying to get you guys the recording also, so you can keep it as your permanent document. Where is the recording here? Is this? Pause, share. What happens if I pause share here? Still, it doesn't allow me. Stop share. I'm sorry, I had to stop share. In fact, it's recording, so that's the reason. Never stopped recording. Okay, share it now. Now we can see it. Okay, so this is a very good relaxation of your hip joints, and hip joint is a site of your emotions. Very, very important asana. If you do this in sequence, you get a profound relaxation response. And you should continue doing this throughout the whole day. We did it this morning, Gomukhasana and cow face. And you always try to do this. Take your one knee, put your one knee in the top, and see how comfortably you can sit down. When you're able to do it, what happens to you, you'll be doing it subconsciously without knowing. And see if you can do it. Right knee is high up. I showed you from the back. So if you do it from the front, right hand will go high up. Left hand will come in the middle. Touch it, hook it, and essentially you hold it together. Close your eyes, breathe in and out. You feel a profound level of relaxation. And this is the asana you can see. Your ankle is relaxed. Your knee is relaxed. Hip is relaxed. Your hand, your wrist, your elbow. This does not take place unless you have the relaxation of your body and mind. It's a wonderful therapeutic asana, Gomukhasana. Balance it to the opposite side. Initially, you may need to do a little bit of a, yeah, she's doing with the strap. It's very nice. You could use a strap, you could use a little handkerchief, but slowly and slowly, you try to close it down so you can bring your hands together. It happened to all of us, it will happen to you also. But once you get comfortable sitting like this, that is the beginning. You know, the whole session, we said we have an 18-hour session between 3 days. Out of 18 hours, you should be practicing 16 hours, you know, which you are not, but at least you practice 8 hours. That's good. Tomorrow morning, you'll be practicing more. In fact, tomorrow morning, I have to have another little bit of a presentation I have to make, but you guys will continue and I'll come back very quickly. Left knee is high up, left hand goes high up. Right hand goes to the back. You can stabilize your right hand in the middle. Left hand will drop down, will touch it, will hook it. Essentially, you will be able to handshake each other. It will happen equally on both sides. One of the most important therapeutic asana. We have done this thing multiple times today. It's called your squatting pose, malasana. Actually, malasana means your excreta. Back in the primitive time when you have to go outside and you have to do number 2, that's the best way to do number 2. A friend of mine went for a hiking. They went hiking in Smoky Mountain. They're out for 4 days up in the top of mountain. They had to carry all the stuff with them with the guide. They slept in the tent at night. There is no bathroom facilities. Everybody complained about their number 2. Number 1 was fine. They used to go to all different areas. Somebody went there, don't go, you go this way. After finish, they put a little bit of a soil there. So I said, only way to do number 2 in nature is in this posture called malasana. Practice it. It's a wonderful experience. I have done it. I've seen it so many times. I don't see it here. What's wrong with this? You guys keep doing it, you know. I'm just trying to play with Zoom. Zoom is okay. That's good. That's good. You guys are great. Sit down, get high up. Why don't you do the next step? Cross your feet and then go down and go high up. I'm a silent observer now. I love people in the torture chamber, you know. Wow, yeah, very nice. Then go all the way to the ground, sit down all the way to the ground and get up without any support, unassisted. Yeah, wow, very nice. When you use your one hand, you remember what I said? When you use one hand, slowly and slowly, you can use your hand first, then it has to go away. One hand, you lose 25% of your body, of your health. 2 hands, you lose 50%. Lose 2 hands and a feet, you lose 75%. It's a wonderful practice. Incorporate in your daily life, Nothing cannot have anything better than this. Same thing you did. Sit down with the cross-legged. Sit down and got high up. Standing prayer pose. Weren't you okay? Go ahead and stand up. If you can do stand up and do a prayer pose standing up. And then see if you can stand on your one foot. We did this morning. Very nice. Keep counting. Once you're comfortable standing on one foot, see if you can close your eyes and can do it. Initially it becomes almost impossible, but when you're able to do it, can't have any better practice than that. Okay, trying the opposite, trying the other opposite foot. Very nice. Nice, I can see most of you. Standing up, let's do a little triangle pose. Go spread your leg separate enough. Turn your right foot out. And the best way to do it is, let me see. Remember, you guys, when you do it, I know all of you can do a nice triangle pose, is not an issue. But when you do it, turn your one foot out, hands on both sides, slowly, and look at it here, and slowly just go down, close your eyes, and see how far you can go down and stay in this posture. Close your eyes, stay in this posture, do your breathing out longer than breathing in. When you get up, put your hands in the waist, support your body, and go up slowly. So when you do this, it creates a more relaxation response. That is a very wonderful way of doing all these asanas. Do not push yourself, do not go too fast, and able to stay in the pose at least your 5 to 10 breaths. These are the asanas for your strong digestion. And I gave it to you because I want you guys as a teacher to use it for your students, for your health. Simple 5 asanas. See if you all can do. Get down in the mat. Raise your feet high up. Feet raising pose. You don't have to go all the way high up. Yeah, 30 degrees, very nice. From here, you go to your boat pose. We did this morning. Remember, it's all your abdominal belly centered. Okay, from here, sorry, these are improving your digestive fire. You do knee chest, Pavan Muktasana. Bring your knee, touch your nose to the knee. In fact, your chin goes in front of your knee. And keep on breathing. Remember, most important thing, if you feel any effort in breathing, if you feel the breath is being interrupted, stop there. But stay in the posture, and then you can do little side to side, also side to side roll. I don't see the picture here, but you can roll little side to side. You can roll in the front and back. It's a wonderful relaxation response. So these are the 5 asanas. The 3 asanas came. Bridge pose, separate your feet, touch your tip of your finger in the back of your heel. I know all of you have your own practice preferences, but these are the concepts. Any way you do is fine. So if you can raise your body high up in a bridge, another way, I don't have a picture on that. No, I don't have any picture. You can raise 1 foot high up, so if you can stay up in a 1-footed bridge. And when you become a really do a called super yoga, then you'll put both the feet high up, huh? Today we'll do 1 foot at a time. Beautiful practice. Finally, this is the asana which really ignites your Agni. Feet down is called a foot touching your forehead. Hold your foot, bring it up, touching your forehead. Bring it up slowly and touch it to your forehead. Do it your 1 foot, drop it down, then do it the other foot. Good job, good job. Now comes the fun time. Now I have to hold on to both the feet. Hold on to both the feet, bring it up, touching to your forehead. Then you can put both the feet behind your neck. And wow, very nice. It's called a Garbhasana. Put behind your neck and you stay there. Wow, yes. Very nice, Sharon. I can see you doing it good. Practice. This is a wonderful asana for your igniting your Agni, digestive fire. Sign of health, strong digestion, easy elimination, good night's sleep. Do these asanas. Then a yogi said, you can eat a piece of steel and you can digest. Doesn't matter what you do, everything will be digested when your digestive fire is strong. Oh, here it was. I didn't put your both the feet touching your forehead. Yog Nidra is a wonderful experience, better than a Savasana. So in a Savasana, you're really relaxing down. In a Yog Nidra, it is a lot deeper than your Savasana. In your, so if you lay down, say, few things you have to keep an eye. Separate your feet up to the width of your mat. Then when you lay down, When you lay down, your head, be sure your chin is little down. If your chin is way high up, put something behind your head. Hands on both sides, palm facing high up. Then what you do, you slowly and slowly, you bring your all the steps of 8 limbs of yoga. Do very gentle pranayama, breathing out longer than breathing in. Learn how to control your senses. Shut down your 5 senses. Learn how to focus. Close your eyes. Focus. The flame of a candle. Focus. Slowly and slowly you enter into a state of meditation. Slowly bring your awareness, move your toes, move your hands. Again, do a pumping and cupping. Keep rubbing your hands, keep rubbing your hands. When you feel the warmth in your hand, if you're wearing glasses, remove your glasses. Put your both the hands over your eyes. Massage your forehead, massage your eyes, massage your face. Massage your ear, behind your ear, front of the ear. Hand down, massage in front of your neck, behind your neck. Slowly turn your body on one side. Put your body on a put your head under your folded hand, body in a fetal position. When you're comfortable, straighten up your right leg. Just give a little support in your body, and you get up. And again, sit down comfortably. Now, let me come back to you. Let me stop this we have a lot of mudras, a lot of pranayamas, which we'll practice, but we'll be practicing it later. So you have this all in the session I did, and you have all these in my book. In my book, if you see every asanas, every pranayamas, it's all my pictures are there. And then if you're a teacher, the best thing will be for you that you bring up, say, I want to teach pranayama. So you come to the pranayama section. Here is your alternate nostril breathing. Here is your breath of fire, Kapalbhati pranayama. Here is your mudras. I want to practice mudras. Here is my pranayama practice. You can go ahead and look at it and do it. It is available on Amazon, or you can get it, the publisher gave it to me. I don't make any money out of it. I gave it to you for all the students. I tell them to keep it. It's a absolutely invaluable gift. And I wrote it from my teaching to all of you. This is exactly what I teach. I put it there. Now, tomorrow, what I really want you to do, first of all, in the morning, probably we'll talk a little bit about Ayurvedic philosophy. Then I want you guys to find this presentation from all the handouts I gave. Let me share with you. Now, show it to you. Poses and sequence. Ayurvedic AYT, poses and sequence. So let me share this with you. So take a look at it. Okay, I want all of you to have this one, Ayurvedic yoga therapy. This is actually poses and sequences. This will be the water balancing poses. And what I will do, and you do it yourself, 7 of you, you'll pick up one. One of you will be telling what are the poses, and rest of you, you'll practice. It's very important because you're going to be a teacher. You'll be practicing, somebody will telling you how to do it, and you'll be practicing. Pitta balancing poses. So remember this, the grounding poses below your belly button because water resides in your colon. Pitta balancing poses, all the poses centered towards your belly button. Everyone you see. Camel pose, Ustrasana, belly button. Fish pose, Matsasana, belly button. Dhanurasana, belly button. This is your called Janu Shirasana, touching your head to the knee, belly button. Boat pose, Nokasana, belly button. Bridge pose, belly button. Sarvangasana, shoulder stand, belly button. This is your opposite fish pose called Viparita Matsasana, belly button. So one of you will dictate, and the rest of you will practice. Kapha balancing poses, strengthening, energizing, uplifting poses, mountain pose, tree pose. This is your lion pose, Singhasana. Spinal twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Cow face, Gomukhasana, downward facing down. And you do the push-ups, yogic push-ups, downward facing dog. Wonderful practice. Then we'll come into these are called tridoshik poses, which are applicable for all the doshas. Then we'll go to a sequencing, water balancing sequencing. You'll go up, you'll start from here, you'll go all the way to the end. All the names of the asanas are here. And you will keep this in your file because I've collected from so many sources, you will never find it one place. And you'll see the name of the asanas are all in the bottom there, and we'll do that. So knee chest is here. This is your cross-legged. This is your slow sun salutation, head touching your feet. So you will do this, the sequences. With the next one, you come from the left side, come from here, go all the way to the back, you'll end up with the Savasana. Pitta balancing sequence, we'll start with a moon salutation. We did this morning. Then you do the Pitta balancing asanas. Continue, Pitta balancing sequence. I don't know what this sequence will do for all of you, but once you keep the sequence back of your mind, it's the best way to teach. I always have some sequence in my mind, but I practice it every day, so it's not an issue for me. It spontaneously comes to me. Kapha balancing sequence. You start with your sun salutation, but with a little vigorous sun salutation. Uplifting asanas. Mountain pose, upward mountain pose, warrior. Very nice warrior for your kapha balancing. Putting your head down below your heart is a wonderful practice. You don't have to do it. Let me show you one practice. This is a wonderful way to show you how you do the balancing practices. So, can you guys see me all the way? Yeah. My feet, I'm in a small, okay, you can see me here. So what a wonderful practice this is. Keep on separating your feet. And a widespread head down. Prasharita Uttanasana. Hand supporting, slowly support, put your hand, and then when you are really go all the way down, for us, you can put your head all the way down to your ground. Head down to the ground, touch both the feet. You can do a Kapalbhati Pranayama here. When you're able to do this, what happens when you put your head down first, the pressure inside the head goes high up, pressure inside the eyes goes high up, and you feel miserable. Face is flushed, body is flushed. But slowly and slowly, the pressure normalizes, pressure inside the head comes down, pressure inside the eyes comes down, pressure inside the blood vessel comes down. It's called baroreceptor sensitivity. You get a profound level of relaxation. Continue kapha balancing sequencing. And all the asanas, every asanas, you know all these asanas, you have to practice in sequence. The tridoshic sequence. The sequence for sun salutation, with the breathing, and sun salutation also, there's some chanting involved. There's more advanced. If you want to do, you can do this chanting during sun salutation. There's a moon salutation, the steps of moon salutation. And this is a starting position of your moon salutation. And there's a sequence of your moon salutation. So tomorrow morning, I'll talk a little bit on the philosophy of Ayurveda first. We'll be doing all the practices between 9:45 to around 10:30. I have to attend another so-called Zoom meeting. I have a presentation. I have a presentation throughout the whole day. You guys are lucky that you got me for a whole day today. Even I have to do it after this class. I have to do another presentation, yoga therapy for cardiovascular disease. Now, it's a time to wind down a little bit. But before that, the floor is for you. You educate us, educate all of us. Give a comment, give a question, and the floor is yours now. I've done enough talking. I don't need to talk anymore. Go for it. So somebody's putting glasses on, okay?
I have a question.
Okay, go for it.
So the few times that I've taken my dosha quiz, I'm usually always Vata Kapha, like I'm a mix between the two, and I feel like they're very opposite. So sometimes it's hard for me to find that balance.
So very interesting is there are two doshas in your life. One is called a prakriti. Prakriti is the dosha you were born with. Another is called a vikriti. Vikriti is the dosha, present day doshas. And the dosha gets changed based on your environment. It's called epigenetics. Dosha changes moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day, season to season. Whatever you ate, that will change your doshas. So generally, I'll show it to you tomorrow. How do you do a diagnosis? It's going to put 3 fingers. One is this is called a vata, pitta, and kapha. Vata is called a snake. It's a snake underneath your finger. Pitta is called your frog, jumping. Kapha is swan. Then you shut down all of your blood vessel, then let it blood flow. That is your prakriti that you're born with. Generally, you're born with all the 3. And what happens when you measure your doshas and take the dosha quiz, you get a one your body type, take the quiz again next day, the day is cloudy and you ate some so-called not to be good food, or you didn't sleep well last night, the dosha will change. So my question to you is that did your dosha change, or you don't connect the doshas with what you are doing or activity? What is your introspection? When you look inside yourself.
Well, just recently, at least, like this past week, I've been feeling really heavy, not really motivated. The weather today hasn't really helped a whole lot with that. But I also just recently switched my schedule. So I was thinking a lot about like when you were talking about daily routines. So I just got back on night shift. So I think that switch has kind of been hard for me to adjust to because I'm getting home at like 11 o'clock at night and I haven't eaten all day. So I'm staying up until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, which usually I'm getting up at like 5, 6. So it's been a complete switch in my routine. So I think that's part of why I've been feeling kind of sluggish lately.
It will definitely change your dosha as what you were before. Even today, you know, it's a rainy, cloudy day. It's called a kapha day. Sunny day is called a pitta day. And you see your doshas have changed. Now what happens, you understand a little bit. Pay attention to yourself, all of you. And you will love it when you see that all the changes taking place in your body and mind. Then next thing you start doing, start questioning yourself. Then you'll start looking at your every family member and try to check their doshas. And you know how to do a pulse diagnosis, then you'll be checking all their pulses. Third thing, every family member or friends will run away from you, you know? They said, here comes the checking my pulse again, you know? I'm kidding, you know? So it's a wonderful practice. It's really the art of self-healing. Anything else? It's very nice when you share your own introspection, very nice. Share your own experience.
I have a question.
Sure,
So
sure.
in the Vata balancing pose, there's a headstand. What if you can't do a headstand?
You generally don't do any asanas. What
Okay.
you do is very simple. Everybody wants to do a headstand, you know? You know why? There must be some kind of really master asanas. Look at what is headstand. Headstand is an adaptation of your older practices. You sit down in a Vajrasana, thunderbolt. You don't have to do anything. Just take a look at me. Just pay attention and look at me. This is a profound relaxation response. Sit down enough, you get enough relaxation. This is your stance. Put it here. Clasp your hand, put your head down. You feel miserable. You cannot talk. You cannot breathe. Your faces are flushed. Keep your head down. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Flushing of the face goes away. Breathing normalizes. Nobody is touching you. Nobody is helping you. Putting your feet high up, just keep walking. Keep walking, you'll see your body will start to go higher. You don't do a headstand, you come down. It's fine. Don't let anybody touch you, don't let anybody do it. Slowly and slowly, you'll see your whole body is going to go higher. It's a total relaxation, and don't even think about trying any asanas. You may not be able to sit down in a Vajrasana. If you cannot sit down, put a roll underneath, put a roll of towel. I love all these, your straps, blocks, everything, but I don't want to use you all the time, because even if you use something, use a folded blanket, folded towel, because you will get used to. Slowly take out a fold one at a time. If you use a block, if it's a 6-inch block, be sure you have a 4-inch block, you have a 2-inch block. So you can keep going down and it become a natural. When you relax, everything will come to you. If you learned how to do headstand, if you do headstand, oh my God, it's so relaxing. you'll be staying there as long as you want. One thing is very important in a therapeutic yoga, don't do any adjustment. Don't touch anybody. This is your final pose, and you'll get into in stages in sequence. Okay, let's call it a quit today. We'll get together tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Unless you have any final question or final comments. Anybody? No?